Hari Om. Welcome to Satsang, everyone. Hope everyone has enjoyed the weekend so far. It's been beautiful. We have a few different groups here this weekend, here for different reasons, programs, personal retreats, celebrations. So it's lovely to all be together in this space. So we'll begin with the practice of Kirtan, chanting. If you would like to follow along, there are the blue booklets and yellow sheets in the back. And we'll begin with some of the opening slokas on page 9. We'll do a few of the opening chants together, and then when we get to page 12, we'll move into call and response chanting. So beginning with 3 Oms, finding a comfortable seat. Inhaling for Om.
Samyaktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginaha Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Twameva Matacha Pita Twameva Twameva Bandhustra Saka Twameva Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Now call and response. I'll chant a line and then we can all respond together. Starting on page 12. Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram
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 Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Sham
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Sham
Hari Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om
Adi Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om
Hari Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om
Adi Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Om
Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om
Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om
Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Rakshamam
Shivananda 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 Rakshamam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda 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 Pahimam
Shivananda Shivananda, 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda, 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 Pahimam.
Shivananda, 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 Rakshamam.
Shivananda, 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 Rakshamam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
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 Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
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 Shri Guru Jaya 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 Guru Sachidananda.
Jaya Guru Jagat 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 Guru Sachidananda.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sachidananda.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sachidananda.
Param Guru Om 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 Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda 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 Guru Sachidananda.
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 Sachidananda Guru 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 Sachidananda.
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 Sambasada Shiva, Sambasada Shiva, Sambasada Shiva, Samba Shivo.
Samba Sada Shiva Samba Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva,
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva.
Samba Shiva.
Samba Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namaha, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namaha, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namaha, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Namaha, Hara 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 Hara, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya.
Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya.
Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya, Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya,
Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Haripara Shakti Palayamam.
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 Om Mata, Om Mahata, Om Shri Mahata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mahata, Om Shri Mahata Lalitamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Haripara Shakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Parameshwari Adi Parashakti Palaya Mam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palaya Mam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palaya Mam.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Pariparashakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Om Mata Om Mata Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Jagadamba.
Jagadamba.
Lalitamba.
Lalitamba.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
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 Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Hari Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om 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 Shanti Om.
Om Shanti Om.
Shanti Om.
Shanti Om.
Shanti.
Hari Om. Thank you all so much. Appreciate Sister Vani and this cast of Kirtanists from all over Yogaville who are here with us this evening. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Huh? Welcome, everyone, to this beautiful evening of Satsang. My name is Swami Priyananda, and it is my good fortune to be able to serve you as the Master of Ceremonies this evening. And we have a lovely evening planned for you. So all of you who are present with us this evening in this lovely Satsang Hall room, Shivananda Satsang Hall, and those of you who are streaming in and joining us, it's really such a pleasure to share our programs with those who travel here and stay with us for a weekend, and all those who join us online. So thank you. And if you're here this week and you see something you really like or hear of programs that are coming up, please remember to stream in, and we'll give you the link for that a little later in the program. But now, as every day begins with light, we like to start every satsang with light. So we will have the lighting of the altar lamps, and I would ask, as we light the lamps, we are going to be giving praise to our teacher, Sri Swami Satchidananda, welcoming his spiritual presence, and that of our Param Guru, Swami Satchidanandaji's Guru, the great Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. So if everyone would please rise. We will be doing the prayers on the front of your yellow prayer sheets. Auspiciousness be unto all. Perfect peace be unto all. Fullness be unto all. Prosperity be unto all. Happiness be unto all. Perfect health be unto all. May all see good in everyone. May all be free from suffering. Om peace, peace, peace. Please be seated. The following video that you will see is from 1984. It's in a satsang that Sri Swami Satchidananda was recorded speaking on wellness, the yogic approach. Please enjoy.
I was touching the point of how the system gets polluted by our wrongdoings. Mainly things that go in, the water, the drink that we drink. Should I say drink? Because here the connotation for drink is something always different, no? Comes out of bottle. Because you cannot say, did you have your drink? Have a drink. They don't immediately think it's water. Well, anyway, any liquid that goes in, if it is not clean, any air that goes in, it's not clean. Any food that goes in, it's not clean. Remember, when I say clean, 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 not only analytically, in the lab it is clean. Like a doctor certifies it's a healthy animal. So it's a clean animal. But that's not what I mean by cleaning. It's not completely clean. Does it bring good vibrations? Yeah. Is it the product of love? Is it given to you lovingly? Even a mother, in a sort of bad mood, if she nurses the baby falls sick. Because along with the milk, her vibrations get passed through. So, can the animals give you happily, come on, take my thigh, make soup of it? No. So the food, if it comes with bad vibrations, that gets polluted. Even though the doctor says it's clean animal, healthy animal, it's not really a healthy animal. So the food should bring good vibrations also. So when by eating food without considering all these things, we accumulate a lot of toxins. Physical food, toxins. Mental food, sins. One is sin, another is toxin. The same. So, how to clean it? Elimination is important. That's where the kriya comes in. You have to burn it out, you have to throw it out. You may have prevented from further coming in, but how do you remove it? Dauti, Vasti, Bastrika. That means cleaning the colon, the large intestines, cleaning the stomach. Probably it's simple. Drink half a gallon of water, little by little, not all of a sudden, and then do a little movement of the stomach. Like you pour water into the bottle, shake it, and then pour it out, and then throw it out. Of course, in the Western approach, they insert a long rubber tube into the alimentary canal until it reaches the stomach and then leave the rest down. So by siphon system, it comes out. But that's not really that comfortable. The simple way is just have a few glasses of water, shake the stomach, simply move it like this, pump it up, or just move this way, forward, backward. And then take a little salt with a wet finger, just touch the salt, put it against the throat, tickle a little, everything comes out. If you feel embarrassed, do it quietly in your bathroom, not in front of others. But here we teach them in front of others. So that's cleaning the stomach. Of course, the cleaning large intestine, the colon, is simple, like an enema. Recently somebody sent me a nice book from India, written in South Indian language, all about enema. Enema, for everything talks about an enema. It's true. In fact, somebody came with an inflamed, swelled eye. He couldn't even see. I said, come into the room. Give him an enema first. What? I come with an eye problem, you are asking me to take an enema? Yes, sir. Your eye has to be purged out first. Fever, an enema. Cold, enema. Everything. Because that is where the manufacturing of the problem, toxins. So, but of course in the yogic way, instead of an enema, they insert a small tube and suck the air in with water. When you sit in the water, you don't have to go to that extent. Just an enema will be enough. Throwing out. And Bastrika with vigorous breathing. You put a lot of oxygen in and you burn it out. You clean the mucus. Anybody who has fever, hay fever, practice some Bastrika. You will just simply say, hey, fever, go, finished. Yeah. Very simple. Nasal blockage. And of course some eye exercises. Tratak is one of the kriyas. Eliminating. Even the pranayama itself will help a lot. People who have problems in even giving up certain habits, which they call, I am addicted to this, addicted to that, overeating, drinking or smoking. If you have an addiction problem, it's mainly caused by the toxins that has already found home in your system. Unless all that is eliminated, you will continue to have the addiction. So burn it out. For that, pranayama is the best. Deep breathing, vigorous breathing, you literally burn it out. And more subtle approach is, I don't know how much you would like that, chanting. Chanting is an enchanting practice. You are using sound vibrations, mantra vibrations. Sound vibrations can burn it out. Now, a few days back, I even saw they are trying to bring it back again, some of the cleaning processes through sounds, ultrasonic. We can clean jewels and watches with sound alone. Because that has tremendous power. It can completely clean it out. It can penetrate to every cell, your sound energy, and clean it out. That's why the chanting is. And that's what you call prayer. Of course, prayer is not just only thinking or saying, it should be done well to bring out. That's the reason why we even give mantras. Mantras are certain phrases which has tremendous energy. Each letter can do something specially on your body. We call it bijakshara, or the seed letters. It can create heat if you want. It can cool your system. It can burn your mucus. It can take care of the wind problems. There is Agni Bija, Vayu Bija, Varuna Bija. So these are all using the sound vibrations. Just take, for example, if you feel a little cold. This is the winter season. How would you keep yourself warm? With a mantra. Would you like a mantra to keep yourself warm? Have some rum. Immediately you think, Swami asking us to take some rum? See, the name rum was given to it because it brings similar experience, similar energy like that of the Bijakshara rum. Ram is a Bijakshara. The name Rama is rooted in rum. Simply say rum, 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 rum. You will see tremendous heat coming into the system. Oh yes. Yam, lam, ram, vam, cham. These are all the 5 elements. Bijaksharas for 5 elements. Ram bija is, that's why Rama, 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 Rama is Ram included into that. It can fight off all the problems. That's why they use rum a lot to fight. Of course, in the war they use rum and drum. So I'm talking about the power of the mantras, power of the syllables. That's also part of Kriya. So all these Kriyas are mainly practiced to eliminate, to throw out. Once the toxins are eliminated, you won't have the craving. Take, for example, smoking. The nicotine that has found home in your body, even if you don't want to smoke, the nicotine that is already in wants more nicotine. That's what you call craving. You don't want it. At the same time, something is wanting it in you. And what is that something that wants more nicotine? The nicotine that is already in your home. So, how to stop that? Throw it out. Eliminate that nicotine, you will never have problems. Otherwise, you are addicted. You want it more and more. That's why many people fail in stopping habits like drinking and smoking, because they don't clean out what is accumulated already in. And they tried to find some substitutes long before, some 15 years back. The drug rehabilitation program people from Washington approached me, and I even told them, I say, what is that for? They give another methadone. They give methadone, a substitute. Then people get addicted to that. That's another form of poison. Instead, simple yoga practice, change the diet, do a lot of pranayama, clean up your body. You don't have to have any substitute. And then we will think over it. Then they went back and they never called me. I said, fine, leave it. But that was 15 years back. Now it's coming again, thanks to some of the crazy doctors who wanted to prove that yoga, meditation, diet can help. In that respect, I salute my good friend Dr. Anish. He has really achieved and proved to the world. Just by changing the diet, by meditation, by proper visualization, you can heal the heart. Now, it will be surprising for you to know that India wants him to go and tell them about yoga and meditation. In Delhi, the government, Indian Medical Institute, wants him to come and give a talk, tell us how yoga and meditation and diet is helping you. What can we do? Well, it's time. We export some yoga to India. Yeah. So, along with the other practice of Kriya, I will emphasize more of mantra, using mantra, chanting. Even if you don't have a regular mantra, chant something. Ram, 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 Ram. Om, 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 Om. Chanting. Develop sound, because you are communicating directly with the cosmic energy which you call God. In the beginning there was the word. Bible simply wrote it as word. But the real meaning is sound. In the beginning there was the sound. That means the unmanifested God, when wanted to manifest first, express itself, it expressed as sound vibrations. Hindus call it Nada Brahmam. Nada means sound. So God created everything out of that sound. Let there be light, sound. God used sound. Expressed itself as sound. Let there be light, there was light. So the world is created by sound, and it will certainly be destroyed by sound also. And that's a sound way of doing things. So if you want to communicate with that sound God, or God manifested as sound, use another sound. See, transmitting station and receiving set should vibrate in the same wavelength. Some of the sounds have the same frequency of that of the cosmic sound, which you call the divine sound. That's why sound is used to communicate with the ultimate energy or God, whatever term you want to use. Okay? I'll keep on talking. This maybe you have something else planned. Well, thank you. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart that you had taken the time to come and did they go around and see everything also? After lunch. Well, this whole ashram, yoga we want to call it a wellness center. We want the place to be well, the people to be well, the children should be well, grown-ups to be well, physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually, socially. So that's why my master Swami Shivanandaji always used to say, the essence of all these philosophies is nothing but be well and do well, or be good, do good. So I wish you good luck and success in bringing that wellness to all those people who approach you. But remember, charity begins at home. You get well first, and your wellness vibration should simply go and influence the patient. As the patient walk near you, they will say, hey, I feel comfortable now. I feel all right. Even without you doing anything, you should emit that vibrations. That's why physicians heal thyself. You get well and then share that wellness to others. Don't constantly depend on this temporary remedies. Even the commercials always say, oh, it will give you a temporary cure. That's the commercial, a temporary cure. And that is very fast and tiny letter there. Don't believe in temporary, immediate. No. If you can avoid all these quick remedies, drugs, putting one drug in place of another drug, and go through the preventive method and more natural method, your patients will be happy and you will be doing a human service to everybody that walks into your door. I wish you well and God bless you. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Well, you can see in Sri Gurudev sharing this evening the masterful approach he has, not only to the great science of yoga, but also to the medical field. He himself was a trained naturopath. He went in as a young monk. He went out into the villages where little health care was available in India and provided, using the elements of the earth and the water and the sun, helped people restore their health care in these smaller villages. He was also quite knowledgeable and skilled in the science of homeopathy. So we're so fortunate to have someone of a very high training and skill in these modalities of health. And our evening speaker is also qualified to speak on yogic approach to wellness. The Reverend Maureen Mala Cunningham has been practicing and sharing the integral yoga teachings of Sri Swami Satchidananda for over 35 years. Though she doesn't look herself much over 35 years old, I can assure you her study has been long and well-focused. Mala has a private, in addition to her yogic training, she also holds a PhD in counseling psychology, and she spent much of her undergraduate study in the field of health, psychology, and wellness. And Mala has a private psychotherapy practice in Charlottesville, Virginia, where she specializes in working with adults, couples, and families. And her training and service does not end there, for she is a certified yoga teacher trainer, a certified medical yoga therapist, and neuro-yoga therapist. In addition to her private practice, Mala also serves as an assistant professor at the UVA School of Nursing, the president of Positive Health Solutions, founder and director of Cardiac Medical Yoga Teacher Training, Neuroscience and Yoga Teacher Training, and Mental Health, Psychology, and Yoga Peer Counseling Teacher Training. Her joy is traveling throughout the world, sharing her knowledge and expertise in hospitals and academic settings. And if all of this seems a bit difficult to comprehend and take home with you, not to worry, for she has a book coming out at the end of the year entitled Neuroscience and Yoga, Mindset Training for Peak Performance. This evening she will be speaking, get ready for this, on the rabbit, the owl, the turtle, and neuro-morality. Please welcome the Reverend Mala Cunningham.
Good evening. It's really nice to see all of you here. So, thank you, Priya Ananda, for that kind introduction. So, how is everybody doing this evening? You doing okay? Excellent. So, I'm going to start with some stories, true stories, that blend in to a message tonight. So the first story that I'd like to share with you, it happened a few weeks before Christmas, about 3 years ago. I was outside of Charlottesville at this country post office, mailing some Christmas cards. And as I walked out, I saw this man starting to pull out of the parking lot into the road. And I saw something on top of his car, and I'm like, wait, I'm trying to signal him. He didn't see me, and he pulled out into the road, and it turned out his man purse fell in the middle of the road. So I jumped in my car, ran, got out of my car, picked up his man purse, and I tried to catch up to him, but he was long gone. So I thought, oh, okay. So I thought, okay, I'll just open his purse and see if I can find out who he is and get his purse back to him. Well, I opened his purse, and imagine my shock of what I found. In his purse was a high security clearance badge to the Pentagon. He was a retired general in one of the armed forces. He had over $1,000 in cash in his purse. He had credit cards galore and his phone. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I better call him as soon as possible. I called the number that was on a business card in his man purse, but it was his home number because his cell phone was in the purse. So I didn't know how to get a hold of him. So he had one of those flip phones, and so I opened his phone and just randomly dialed a number. And I introduced myself. It turned out it was a friend of his from New York. She lived in New York. And she's like, wait, what? Who? Where? How? She was just shocked. And so she said, all right, I will call his wife and I'll get back to you. So within a few minutes, his wife called me, and we made arrangements. I was going to meet him at this restaurant on my way back into town. And when I got there, the gentleman had also arrived because his wife had called the friend that he was with and said, get over here right away. Someone has your man purse. And by that time, he also realized it was missing. So I met him in the parking lot, and he was walking up to me. He was literally shaking, and he was tearing up. And he said to me, "Oh my God, thank you so much." He goes, "You have no idea how dangerous this would have been if this badge had fallen into the wrong hands." He wasn't worried about his credit cards or money. He was worried about his high security clearance badge to the Pentagon. And he literally, like I said, he was shaking, and he opened his purse and he got out his money area and he wanted to hand me $100 bill. And I was like, no, this is fine. He was insistent. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you do this? It was near Christmas. I said, why don't you give this $100 to someone in your church, maybe a single mother who has some children who would need it maybe to buy food or Christmas presents? And he said, oh, okay, all right, I'll do that. I said, that'll be perfect. So it turns out, a few weeks after Christmas, his wife called me, and they wanted to invite me over for hors d'oeuvres and such. It turns out his daughters went to school with my partner. And so they kind of knew each other already. So it was kind of an interesting little circle of connection there. So fast forward now to my second story. Just maybe 3 weeks ago, I live mostly in Charlottesville. I have a place here, but I mostly live in Charlottesville. So I had a lot of meetings at UVA, and on my way to my office, I stopped to get lunch to go. So I'm walking into this little restaurant and getting my wallet out, and I had a couple of things in my hands, and got my lunch, drove to my office, went about my day. Fast forward to the next morning, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't normally do that. And I got up and I just wandered into the living room. And I turned on the light, and my purse was hanging on the wall. And it was open a little bit. And I was just like, oh. I walk over to close my purse. My wallet was gone. And I was, oh my God, where is my wallet? So I thought, maybe it dropped out in my car. So I get the flashlight, I'm looking along the sidewalk, and I'm looking in the driveway, and I open my car, I'm looking everywhere. No wallet. I go back in the house, and maybe I left it in my coat pocket or my pant pocket or something, looking everywhere. No wallet in my pant pocket, no wallet in my coat, no wallet anywhere in my house. And I'm kind of starting to freak out. And grabbed the flashlight. I thought, I'm going to look one more time along the sidewalk. So I walk out, and as I'm flashing the light, this thought dropped into my brain. And it said, look in your mailbox. Random, intuitive thought just dropped right on in. And because what? The mailbox? The mailbox is up at the house. It's not at the street. So I turn around, I open the mailbox, and there was my wallet. My wallet had fallen out when I went to pick up lunch at the restaurant, and some random stranger that I don't even know who it is returned my wallet to my mailbox. So I posted this story on Nextdoor, just kind of like I said, a positive sharing, because there's so much negativity that can be out there on social media and stuff. And I was so shocked at I got over 150 replies. I mean, that's pretty rare on Nextdoor. And I wanted to read you some of the comments that people had made in relation to this story. One person wrote, "I think reading this has brought a bit of a tear to all of us. Such a great thing to happen. We all love reading things like this." Another person, "This is the Charlottesville of old. What a wonderful blessing. I love the intuitive nudge also." Another person, "There are still a few decent people around." Another, "Wow, there is still good out there." Another, it goes to show that there are still honest and decent people who want to do that which is right." Another, "This is a great story. What a good story to brighten our day. Thank you for sharing." Another, "Through all the chaos in this world, we find the good in some people. Thank you to the person who returned her wallet." So, I realized after posting that story and then getting all this uplifting and positive comments, I found myself reading them again and again. And every time I was reading them, I would smile and I would feel this like upliftment and happy energy in my heart that it was a big thing to me, but in the grand scheme of world events, it's just a small event. But yet, the chain, the kindness chain, the goodness chain that followed these two stories is really quite remarkable, quite remarkable. One act of kindness, one small little gesture makes all the difference in the vibration of our world. But most important, it makes a difference in that person who's doing the small act of kindness. Like Gurudev was just saying, healing starts with yourself first, you see? So I just thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if we started a kindness chain? Small things, opening the door for somebody, pulling out a chair for somebody, getting someone a glass of water, taking their dishes back to the dish room. Small but important acts of kindness do something to your neurobiology. It does something to the way we move towards sculpting the brain, you see? And the science of examining and looking and researching this area is called neuro-morality. They're looking at what happens in the brain when we do acts of kindness or compassion or empathy, or when we feel these states of love and, again, compassion for others. What is happening in the brain? What gets released, what gets wired, all of those kinds of things. It's a fascinating science, and I think anybody that's interested in yoga and sculpting the brain in a different pathway around moving from negativity would be interested in seeing what this science of neuromorality has to offer. So I like to use props when I give talks. And so I brought along a prop just to sort of bring home a point. So it's a little disheveled doll here. And this doll represents all of our random thoughts that drift through our mind every single day. Okay? So do we ever take time to examine the pattern of our thoughts, the quality of our thoughts? How many positive thoughts do you think during the day? How many positive intentions do you have during the day? You see? So what happens when it's called neuroplasticity, the capacity to change our brain and sculpt it in different pathways, you see? So what happens when we make an intention? In yoga, it's called sankalpa. We set a sankalpa, okay? And it's an intention to be or act in a specific way that is uplifting, that benefits both the other person and yourself. So what happens when we reinforce a thought is it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, you see? Now, if this were a negative thought, that wouldn't be so great, you see? But the good news is we can do something about that. What we do in yoga, many things, but one thing that we do is we start to insert the opposite. We cultivate the opposite, the positive thoughts. That's called neuroplasticity, the capacity and the ability that we have to actually change our brain. It's called mental training. I was telling some of the students in the neuroscience workshop this weekend, I was telling them that we have to consider who we want to be, how we want to walk on this planet, what we want to cultivate, but most important, how do we cultivate upliftment in our own heart? How do we activate that, you see? So again, we start with small acts of kindness. So there's a phenomena called neuronal Darwinism. The strongest and what we reinforce survives. So you lay down a new pathway in your brain, just like you lay down a new road. You put down cement and asphalt on the road, it becomes strong, you see? And that's what we want to do with our brain. We want to promote positivity, kindness. We want to strengthen those neural networks. We want to move away and sort of untangle. The neuronal Darwinism is if you don't use these negative thoughts, they start to dwindle away. You literally see it on an fMRI, that those that are not used start to fade away. You have enough neuronal pathways into the various different regions of the brain, so you don't need an overabundance of them in certain regions that reinforce negativity. Switch them over to the other side, you see? So I want to take a moment and talk to you about a quality or a concept in yoga called the gunas. Guna means quality, okay? So there are 3 gunas that correlate with modern psychology and, of course, the yoga concept, psychology concept, and then the neuroscience concept, okay? So think about it as on a continuum. On this end of the continuum is rajasic energy, that's activity. Think about it as mild, moderate, and severe levels of activity. So in neuroscience, it's the sympathetic nervous system. In psychology, if you go too far down that continuum, it's aggression. See? It's also what happens when we get threatened. So we can get anxious or panicky, or we can get aggressive. That's all activation. That's all sympathetic nervous system activity. But it also correlates with what a lion does. When a lion is threatened, it attacks. It doesn't sit there and think about it. It doesn't run away. You see, it's not a flight animal. It's a fight animal. See? It's also, this end of the continuum is also reflected in horses, because if we're anxious and we panic and we're fearful, we just want to get out of there. But sympathetic activation is still happening, you see? A rabbit is also a flight animal. So the rabbit's going to take off when any sign of threat or any issue comes up, right? The other end of the continuum is tamasic energy. That is represented by the turtle. You withdraw, your energy's lethargic, it's low, it's immobilized, and so on. It's also represented by passivity, if you look at it from a psychology framework. Okay? So from the neuroscience framework, there are two branches to the parasympathetic nervous system. One branch is the dorsal vagal, and that's when our system goes into shutdown. We're in shock, we're in immobilization, and we can't move. We can't make a decision, we can't move, we're just gonna withdraw, and we're gonna freeze. That's what happens when the dorsal vagal is activated of the parasympathetic nervous system. The second branch is in yoga, it's called sattvic energy. In psychology, it's called being assertive and using an animal. My tongue is getting twisted. Using an animal analogy, it's represented by the owl. So the owl is a fascinating creature. I was looking up some characteristics of the owl, and we all know it's wise, it sits very still, it's observant, it's massively intelligent. They can rotate their necks 270 degrees, so they can see a lot of what's going on in their world. They're observant, they're aware, and they see. They're a seer. Like they're similar to what we want to strive to be. They also are known as silent flyers. So they fly through the night. You can't hear them because of the way their wings are configured. They're silent flyers. So again, this represents something that perhaps we would want to aspire to. That sattvic energy, the assertive energy, the ventral vagal complex of the parasympathetic nervous system, where we have that balance, you see? So I wanted to end, I just have maybe a couple more minutes, I just wanted to end by sharing with you an amazing story. How many of you have heard of Magnus Carlsen? Oh, a couple of you, excellent. He is an extraordinary individual. I mean, just mind-blowing, extraordinary individual. He is a Norwegian chess grandmaster, and he has been a grandmaster undefeated for 14, 15 years in a row. He missed 1 year, but before that, he was undefeated for many years. One of the most phenomenal things that he did was he actually played, this was a feat that had never been done before. He played 10 players at the same time. They were lined up. His back was to them, and he was blindfolded. He played them all, one after, like one person would make a move, and then he would mentally see it, and then he would dictate what his move was. The next person would make a move, and then he'd do the same thing, the next, and throughout. That's how all 10 games were played. He never saw the chessboard. It was all mental training, and he won every single game. I mean, that's just like mind-blowing. You can't even comprehend the mental feat, the mental attention that took to be able to win really high-level chess players. And he won every single game. So yoga is all about mental training. All the practices that you do, the little acts of kindness, the asanas, the pranayama, the sense withdrawal, the concentration, the drishti practices, the meditation, they're all designed for one purpose: mental training. Putting guardrails up alongside our brain, our thoughts, and our emotions so that those negative thoughts that take you down those black holes, those rabbit holes, we can lessen that by doing the practices. So today I was sharing with the students that when we do these yoga practices, several things happen. It's a ripple effect. So you do the asanas, we stimulate the vagus nerve by doing various pranayama practices, various mantras, and things like that. So we stimulate the vagus nerve, which is part of the parasympathetic nervous system. It makes up 80% of the parasympathetic nervous system. So we want to stimulate 80% of bringing relaxation and dynamic, calm, grounded energy into who we are, right? So what happens is that, again, there's a cascading effect. The parasympathetic nervous system says, oh, you want me to come online? Okay, when it comes online, its job is to release calming, feel-good hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, acetylcholine, endorphins. All of those hormones is what make you want to do acts of kindness. It makes you feel love. If you did not have oxytocin activate, you would not feel love. It's as simple as that. If you did not have dopamine and endorphins in the brain, you would not feel good. You see? So we want to open up our own internal pharmacy and activate them. Activate your internal pharmacy. And as we do, the defense mechanisms soften. We feel more confident, more grounded, more loving, more kind. You feel better about you. And then in turn, these magical kindness chains start circling around, and you never know where they're going to end. You know, they're going to end up. I don't know where my story of posting that on Nextdoor, who knows where it landed? It could have been all the way in Germany or England. Who knows where it ended up getting shared, you see? So just small acts of kindness are so important. And if you can't do small acts of kindness, like for whatever reason you're just in a space on a particular day or you're busy, the bare minimum, just send angels to those in need. There is a gentleman that stands at one of the busiest corners, traffic corners in Charlottesville, and he just stands out there. The weather could be 90 degrees, and he's got this jacket on. And I'm like, how is he standing? He stands really still with his sign that just says, you know, please give me money, you know, for food or, you know, whatever. He's been there for years, you know, he's like a fixture in Charlottesville. And that gentleman, who knows what acts of kindness have come from him just standing there, you see? I remember so explicitly reading a book about, I can't remember the title of it, The Light Beyond or something like that. And it was about a woman who had a near-death experience. And when she was out of her body, having like technically died, she was in the hospital, she went out of her body, and she kind of did this like circling around, looking at her life. And she told the story of looking down at this beggar in front of their office building that they owned. And she would bring sandwiches to this gentleman every, you know, couple times a week, few times a week. And when she looked down and she saw him out of her body, she was shocked because this huge, bright light was emanating from that individual. And she was told, by however it works in the light realms, that he had chosen that life to activate compassion and kindness with those who cross his path, for the benefit of those individuals who would feel pulled to be compassionate, and to share. Imagine the kindness chain that exists. If we all just stepped forward, small little things. Again, if you can't give, just send angels. When I walk through the hospital at the University of Virginia, there are so many people suffering, so many people in physical pain, mental pain, financial pain and strain, all sorts of things. I can't help them. I'm just one person. What I can do, and what I think is incredibly powerful, I can send them angels. That much I can do. That's literal energy. When you send an angel, you know, the law, spiritual law, is ask and ye shall receive. Ask, but you have to ask. And that's why when we activate that energy and we ask the angels to go, or whatever you want to call them, spiritual beings, whatever the word, they don't have a choice. They have to go. And they're happy to do so. That's their job, is to heal. But we have to participate in a kindness chain. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mala, for sharing these beautiful teachings with us, for teaching us various practices that we can engage in. May each one of us find at least one practice to do every day, a little bit every day, so that we grow in those qualities of feeling grounded and confident and loving and kind. Thank you, Mala. Guess what next Saturday is? Our program on Mother's Day. And so those of you who are mothers, I hope you will join us. Those of you who are not mothers but who have had mothers, I hope you will join us also. It should be a wonderful program. We have the mother of mothers offering the Mother's Day program, the Reverend Vani Metro. And she had 6 children, I believe, and all those 6 had lots of little children, and so they got lots of metros in Yogaville, and she will share her joy in raising those children through the teachings of Sri Gurudev. So I think it will be a lovely program next week. And we ask that you check the ashram's website for upcoming programs this month, and particularly you may want to join in by way of live stream or come and sign up soon for our Memorial Day weekend, which will be the chanting of Krishna Das. So this room will be filled and the walls will be open and it'll be filled all the way to the very back. So it's quite shall we say, a bit of a Rajasic weekend to begin with, but Krishna Das will bring us into that beautiful Sattvic state with his wonderful chanting. So I hope you can join us for that. And there are many events and situations, satsangs coming up this month. So if you go to Vimeo, vimeo.com/Yogaville, you'll see a list of the upcoming programs. We'll conclude this evening with an offering of light. If you start with the light, you better end with the light. So we will be offering the Jyoti chant, which is on the other side of the yellow sheet, as Sister Vani will be offering an Arati, which is a waving of light. And this light will be accompanied by our chanting. It'll be a small candle light offered to a large light on the stage, and then that light will be offered to the altars of each of our teachers. And then it will go up even higher to the ceiling and be offered to the pictures of the various saints and sages. And finally, it will come down to ground level where we all will be, and the light will be offered to us. And if you feel so inclined, you can reach for the light, feel that you're bathing, taking that light energy and bathing yourself before you go to sleep tonight, okay? So we're going to move our podium here, and then we'll have the Arati. Om Jyoti 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 Swayam Jyoti 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 Padam Jyoti 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 Aru Jyoti 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 Shivam Vama Jyoti Soma Jyoti Vana Jyoti Jnana Jyoti Mahajyoti Yoga Jyoti Vata Jyoti Nada Jyoti Ema Jyoti Vyoma Jyoti Eru Jyoti Viru Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Jyoti E Light, O light of self-effulgence, light, O light of absoluteness, light, O light of gracefulness, light, O light of auspiciousness, light of Shiva, light of moon, light divine, light of wisdom, light of heaven, light of yoga, light of wind, light of sound. Light, delight, light of water, rising light, vital light, the only light, give us light, O light of light. You may be seated for the closing prayers. Asatoma sat gamaya, tamasoma jyotir gamaya, mrityormamritam gamaya. Lead us from unreal to real, lead us from darkness to the light, lead us from the fear of death to knowledge of immortality. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karabhavahai, Tejasvinau Batitamastu, Ma Vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect us, grant us wisdom's fruit. May we gain energy to know the truth. May our intellects grow clear and bright. May we cherish no ill feeling toward anyone. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may the light of truth overcome all darkness. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki. Thank you all very much for joining in our satsang this evening. Thanks for those of you in the room, those of you joining by way of live stream. We hope the rest of your week is filled with all of the peace that you can experience from involving yourselves in these great teachings. And for those of you who are still in the room and have any pranic energy, we would appreciate help with putting the chairs away over in the right-hand corner. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.